What up, peeps? It's your girl Tanya with Books and Brown Liquor, and I am talking about the books that I read in the month of October. October was a really good reading month for me. All right, let's get into it. So, October criteria. I like the creepy stuff. I want the horror. I want all those things. All right. So, for the month of October, I have 4 books. I feel like you're too close. Hold up. All right, cool. All right, so let's talk about the books I read in October. The first book was Blood Slaves by Marcus Redmond. I wanted to love this book so much, but I did not. I didn't love it the way I thought I would. That book for me was a 2.5. This story takes place on a slave plantation in the 1700s in South Carolina. So you know it comes with all the trauma, all the things, all the pain, all the struggle, all the hardship, all the things. You would think I would love a book that focuses on the underdog going up against the man, so to speak, but it was the writing that kind of didn't work for me. So I understand that there are people that love this book, and I think that's great, but I did not really love the book the way that I thought that I would. All right. And I don't want to bash it too bad, but the characters I didn't love. Gertie got on my nerves. Our main characters are Willie and Rafazi. They're the ones that pretty much get the things rolling, but I didn't love this book the way I thought I would, so I'm going to move on. I'm not going to bash it. The next book was Bad Dolls by Rachel Harrison. This is a book of 4 short stories focused around women that are dealing with different situations in their lives. I enjoyed this book because they were short stories. They weren't too scary, but it was more fun than scary. My favorite 2 stories were a woman who is a bridesmaid when her best friend is getting married. That was really fun. And then the last story in the book where this girl is like renting a small apartment or a room, and there's a doll in the apartment that causes a lot of unease in her life. And I'm gonna keep it short. For me, that book was like a 3.5. It wasn't horrifying, but it was creepy stories with fun elements to it without saying too much. So that to me was a lot of fun. Then the next book. Okay. The next book. Slewfoot by Bram. This has got to be probably my favorite book of the month. I have been talking about this book to anybody who will listen. Slewfoot by Bram. This is it. Okay. I know I've talked about this in my book haul video. I've been ranting and raving about this book. But basically our main character, Abatha Williams, she is a young widow, and basically she is putting everything she got into saving this farm in rural Connecticut in the year of 1666, where women don't have rights and all that stuff. They don't have rights, they don't have a voice, none of those things. But Abatha is determined to make it on her own. But the ops, the antagonists, if you will, they're doing everything to slow her progress, to stunt her progress. They're doing all the bad guy things, okay? Abatha, she is a fighter. I absolutely love the main character. I love a book with a strong female main character, you know? Abatha, she is it, okay? And then, you know how they say, when they go low, take it to hell? Let's just say, yeah, they go low. So, okay, Abatha takes it to hell, if you will. Yes! 5 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars. The last book, Fever House by Keith Rossin. I love this book so much. This is a 5 as well. I think this book is so well written. What is it about? I'll tell you. Picture 28 days later in Portland, Oregon. 28 days later, the zombies and all of that stuff. It's a regular day in the city. And then these 2 guys that work for a crime boss, they go to collect payment that is owed, and instead they find something very horrifying, a severed hand in the refrigerator. And what do? They take it with them. That's right. Why the They take the severed hand with them, and wherever this hand goes, violence follows. So not only does the violence follow them, but it spreads across the city of Portland. And the city of Portland, as long as the rest of the country, will never be the same again. All right. 5 stars. I'm right now reading the sequel to this book. This book is like horror meets, I don't want to say The Walking Dead. It reminds me more of 28 Days Later because of the aggression that the creatures, I won't even call them, I'll call them creatures. The aggression, the way they attack. You know, in Walking Dead, they be like real slow. They be like, but in 28 Days Later, they be like attack. So these feel more like 28 Days Later. So, yeah, this is like horror with like action. It's fast paced, high octane. You will not be bored. I'm trying to say it without giving too much away, but my initial question when I was reading this book, where the hell did the hand come from? Why is there an evil possessed hand just like lying around? But then when you get to that part of the story, there's a lot going there other than the monsters in the street, so to speak. 5 stars. Okay. And then Their Monstrous Hearts by Yajit Turan. I think that's how you say it. I did not finish this book. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna finish it. I'm not saying this is a total DNF. What I'm saying is this did not meet my October criteria. I want the horror. I want the fear. You know what I'm saying? This book did not. It didn't meet that criteria, so we had to put this on pause because it wasn't moving fast enough for me. I suspect this book is more of a slow burn. But it was burning too slow for me. For October, I need the horror. Now, look at the book. That cover is absolutely stunning. You got a monarch butterfly in the clutches of a woman with red painted nails. And then, look at the edges. They're sprayed beautifully. You know how they say don't judge a book by its cover? I absolutely judge this book by its cover because I like the picture on the front. But you know what? I now know why they say don't do that. Okay? Because this book, I feel like it did not live up to the cover. Look, you see how far I got? Like, how far did I get? I got to page 71 and I was underwhelmed, but I'm not giving up. We're going to revisit this at another time, but not for the month of October. Hell nah. So anywho, right now I'm reading the sequel to Fever House, which is called The Devil by Name. And it's so far so good. It's really good. And, I'm supposed to be reading another book by Brahm. So I'll let you know how that goes. But so far, October did not disappoint. I enjoyed my books for this month. But yeah, 4 books. And then I'll get more into detail in my book review videos. I just wanted to wrap up my month of October. Did you guys read good books in October? I hope you did. And what was your favorite book for the month of October? Please share in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. I wish you good reading. Bye.